Every Friday night when I was in college, I would hear my neighbors go out and have fun every weekend while I laid in bed at 9 p.m. because I was on, at the time, what I thought was a self-improvement journey. But it was actually deep isolation that had many negative impacts on me. And I'm going to tell you the lesson that I wish I knew before college that would have saved me a lot of hardship. This all started when I went to college, and I got there, and everything was really good. I was in a period of my life where I focused more on being social than getting good grades. So I was going out a lot, hanging out with friends, and it was very fun until I met a girl that I started to really like and I thought could be something. But it turned out that it kind of turned into a situationship where I was kind of pursuing her, but she kept kind of running away. And that was one of the most toxic relationships in my entire life. And once that was finally over, I felt like a complete loser for having had dealt with it and let it go on for as long as it did. And that was what ultimately made me go on a giant self-improvement journey to seek external validation and to kind of gain status from the world, to almost not feel like a loser anymore. And when I started this self-improvement journey, I'll give you a quick example of what my day-to-day life looked like. I basically would wake up at 5:30 a.m., go to the gym, and that was from 5:30 to 7:30, and then I would take a shower, and then I would eat breakfast, and then I would go to class, and then I would study, go to another class, and then I would work on a side hustle that I wanted to start, and then I would do more studying, and then I'd go to sleep and do all of that every day, over and over again. And I didn't watch any YouTube. I didn't hang out with friends. I just had my head down and I was focused. I think I went 9 months without watching YouTube or TV or any entertainment. 9 months straight of that. And I thought that I was doing self-improvement right because that's what all the gurus online say. But for the most part, it led to a lot of negative emotions. And it also hurt my social skills because I wasn't going out. And I basically just stressed myself out trying to be perfect. And I was chasing external validation from the world and status, which I already mentioned, but that led to be a really dangerous effect on my mental state. And I'll give you a specific example of when I realized that this was damaging me more than it was doing good. And it was when I finally did decide to go out and hang out with friends after, 9 or 10 months of doing this. And when I saw all of these friends, and by the way, these are friends that I had met freshman year, back when I was having all the fun and being social, all those friends that I made when I first got to college was who we were all hanging out with on this night. And so I walk in, and everyone's already there. We're basically the last to arrive to the party. And there was not a single moment during that party, during that hangout, that felt comfortable, that felt normal. Because everything felt awkward with all of these friends because I had been away for so long. And I think a lot of them thought that instead of them thinking that it was really impressive how hard I was working, I think a lot of them were confused and thought I was really weird. And that's when I realized, after that hangout, I realized how much of a burden this self-improvement journey was having on me. And I realized that locking in on a self-improvement journey is horrible when you are only focused on the external validation and the status that you want, rather than growing internally. So, like I said, how I was focused on external validation, that is one of the worst mindsets to go into any self-improvement journey with, because it will damage you. And if you don't grow internally or don't focus on growing internally, it will haunt you for the entire journey, because it is a never-ending battle with yourself that you cannot win if you focus on external validation. And I talked about how this journey kind of affected me mentally and had a lot of negative effects on friendships. But I also did build discipline, confidence, and self-respect after having spent so much time alone. And that is the internal growth that I'm talking about. The actual benefits and the good things that came from my self-improvement journey were internal growth, like discipline and confidence, not external things. So the main takeaway that you guys need to keep in mind, if any of you are in college or working hard in some journey that you're on, you need to have a perfect balance of hard work and isolation and time to yourself and human connection and fun, because that allows you to enjoy your life and experience that internal growth on your self-improvement journey. That is the best lesson that I wish I was told when I started this journey in college. I wish somebody would have told me that I need to work hard and hang out with friends. You need to have a good balance. And that's what I learned the hard way. And I hope you guys don't learn the hard way because of this video. And I hope it helped you. Thank you for watching.